We've had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Washington Redskins. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're on offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over first and 10. So from the 36 now, first and 10.
3 buck. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Now Haskins on first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a...
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin, touchdown number 15 of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. And this defense looking like they have come to play. The pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's got his target. That's Moore. Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the
First carry for Darius Geis. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. 3rd down. Here's Haskins. Jordan Reed has it. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a 1st down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm here all day.
Geis. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A Redskin 1st down. The pickup 15 yards. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a 2nd time.
Back to the ground on 1st. It's Geis. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Now Haskins to throw on second down. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Washington Redskins, first down. First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 15 running. 54. Watch the run.
On first down, this is Geis. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Back at the 37-yard line.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. Out of the gun, Geis. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he finds the tight end, Reed. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
First and goal at the 2-yard line.
That's it. 54 miles.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
On the ground, Geis. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Darius Geis with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Extra point good by Hopkins, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. On 2nd and 9, Newton nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Ioannidis has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Here we go. Bring it in.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. A shotgun snap for Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Reuben Foster picks it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a run with Geis. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Geis. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him early but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Hayward. 54. Watch 54. Check. Mike 5-4. Mike.
From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. The Redskins have the 1st down on a pickup of 18.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
They'll run with Geis. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Set, hut. 60 outlaw. 54. Mike 54.
Geis with the carry on 2nd down. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Check. Watch 54. Gotta do better.
From the gun on 3rd down. Haskins looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Hopkins' kick is good. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Newton. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 45. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
You better bring it. You better bring it.
On the ground, it's Geis, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. This is Geis. Dontari Poe in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Haskins. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 14. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Geis, they'll try to run it. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Makes the score Redskins 38.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
The Panthers take over.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes
We've had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Washington Redskins. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Ready? What's up, ready?
Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work.
Gun. Great. Ready?
On 1st and 10, Newton. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Well, that's tough. You come in here, you dial up that pass play on the first play from scrimmage and get it picked.
And you know, coaches always talk about we prepare for every eventuality. You don't even mention this as a possibility when you dial up that play, right? Instead, they throw a pick, and now they're behind the 8 ball on the road to get things going.
Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brian Burns in there to get him, and on the season now that is 9 sacks for him.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
The Redskins send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they've got to be thrilled to have this game still at 0-0 after the interception thrown on the very first play of the game.
They certainly do. And what I enjoyed was watching him on the sidelines because as the defense came off, he was there to congratulate them and really say thanks because he threw the interception. It didn't turn into any points.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Don't get nervous. What? 8.
This is McCaffrey, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
56 to Mike. 8. 56.
Now on 2nd and 13. Newton, and Thomas has it. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Redskins on 3rd down, putting an extra man here in the secondary. Out of the gun, Newton. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is taken at the 18. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Shotgun handoff now to Geis. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness, one cut and he goes, that's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted for him.
On 3rd and 1, it's Haskins. And he finds McLaurin. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff, Geis going right. Room here to run. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Redskin 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ready. Pittsburgh.
54 Mike.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Brian Burns has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. From the 24, Newton. And an alley to run. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the 1st. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Newton now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Game situation. Let's go.
To try again after the sack. Newton, he's going to look deep for more. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, here's Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matthew Ioannidis has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
36 yards on the punt with no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Hey, they scared. They scared.
2nd and 10 now. Haskins. That's going to be caught by Richardson. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now it's Haskins. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
Washington Redskins, first down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Complete. Richardson has it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give the Redskins 13 there and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Here's Haskins. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
56. Defense wins championships, baby.
From the red zone now, Haskins on first down. Got an open man, it's Harmon. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And a yard at the 6-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Haskins back to the air. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. That was Dante Jackson, the one who got a hand in to knock it away.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Pick it
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And Geis is going to be stopped short as he did not get the push he needed. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Here we go with Geis. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Geis alone in the backfield here, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. This Carolina defense looking to keep him out of the end zone once more. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Darius Geis with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
He can't hit. He's not going to get me.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 44, Newton, he gets it to Thomas. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield, and the Redskins scoop it. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe... When you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, get it the same.
It's caught inside the 25. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. Newton now to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Newton to throw, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. This Washington defense, they've stood tall the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal. Throwing is Newton, and that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? He said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Geis. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give the Redskins 13 there and a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Ready. Pittsburgh. 54 Mike.
Right back to him on first down. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Check Mike 54, Mike 53.
They'll hand it down to Geis. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Here we go. And Reed. Mike is 59. Mike to 50.
Now on 2nd and 13. Haskins to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Terry McLaurin as the first half is winding down. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go! 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Now, we're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you